let you in on a secret. Illustrator is better than Photoshop. And I'm going to tell you why. Check it out. What's good, people? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? I am V. I'm your host for today. And today, we're going to talk about Illustrator. Why should you use Illustrator? I'm going to tell you why. Here's my top 5 reasons why you should use Illustrator. Number 1, Illustrator is vector-based. You know, Photoshop uses pixels. And the difference with that is, pixels, they pixelate. I don't know the way to put it. Pixels pixelate. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, like, when you take an image in Photoshop, it's pixelated. It changes into a pixelation. So the larger you make these images, the bigger you expand in these pixels, which means that they start getting blurry. The bigger they get, the blurrier they get. That's what Photoshop does. However, in Illustrator, they use vector-based. So vectors, they don't get pixelated. They don't stretch. It is what it is. The line is going to be that line. The shape is going to be that shape. So no matter how big I make a shape, doesn't matter. It's going to look exactly the same. So it doesn't matter in Illustrator how small you make an image to begin with or how big you make it. That's one of the main reasons why I like to use Illustrator. Example, I can make a logo in Illustrator, right? On a canvas that's 30 by 30, very tiny. And then the client says, hey, I love the logo. How about we put this on a billboard that's 10 feet by 20 feet? Huge, right? Doesn't matter. Because in Illustrator, you can stretch this image as big as you want. Now, if I would have did that in Photoshop, guess what? That little 30 pixels by 30 pixels that I started with, once it got to like 2,000 pixels by 2,000 pixels, it would have started looking blurry already. It would have never made it to the 10 feet. It would have never made it. I would have had to do it over. So that's my first reason for using Illustrator. Number 2 would be the brush strokes. Now, Illustrator comes with preset brush strokes. I mean, like, my favorite one is there's a brush stroke where when you draw a line, the brush stroke starts thin, gets a little bit bigger, and comes out thin again. Almost looks like calligraphy. It's great. That's my favorite brush stroke. And they have many others, but in Photoshop, you can't do that. InDesign, no way. So this is one of the other reasons why I like Illustrator. The brush strokes are magnificent. I mean, I use them a lot for like portraits because I use a tablet. I'm gonna tell y'all why you should get a tablet too. But for portraits, I use my tablet and my brush strokes come out crisp. Another reason the brush strokes are great in Illustrator is because Illustrator has this thing where you can smooth the lines. So say my hand is a little shaky. I'm trying to draw a straight line, but my hand is a little shaky. In Illustrator, I can make that line smooth with a click of a button. That's it. I don't have to go back and touch every little point where I was shaky. One click of a button, that line is a straight line, no questions asked. Or if I make curves and my curve is a little jagged, you know, people, you can shake your hands sometimes, especially when you're using a pen tool or something like that. But Illustrator makes this straight curve, and the curve looks beautiful. It looks like a computer truly. Because that's what happened. So that's my second reason for using Illustrator. Number 3 would be for logo design. I just gave y'all the example earlier about logo design, but that's basically it. Like, making a logo in Illustrator guarantees that no matter how big the client or you want to make this logo, it'll grow to the size that they want it, and it'll look exactly the same. Only difference is you might have to change the stroke when you start getting smaller, because if you use a 5-pixel stroke on a 1-pixel item, then it's gonna look terrible. But you can always just go in and turn the stroke down, and it'll look exactly the same. Another reason why logo design is great in Illustrator is because if you do t-shirts like I do, and most of you designers will be doing t-shirts at some point in time, the print vendor asks for Illustrator files. If you do your logo on Photoshop, you don't have Illustrator files. I mean, you might be able to get away with a Photoshop file, but for the most part, they want Illustrator files because the lines are clean. They're not pixelated. So Illustrator is great for logo design and print design for t-shirts. When you're trying to make a PNG or something like that, it's perfect. All right. The fourth reason why Illustrator is great is because of the shape combination. Check it out. Here's an example. If I make a circle, right, and then I make another circle like above it, in Illustrator there's a tool that can combine these two circles to one shape. That's amazing. I mean, it could be a circle, square. No matter what shape you decide to draw, you can combine and you can subtract. I'll give you an example. So if I make two circles, like the Venn diagram, right? I put them together, I can subtract the middle part, or I can subtract the outer parts, or I can merge them all together. That's a great function. I mean, like if you're trying to do background geometry, or, you know, it works for a plethora of reasons. I use that function basically for background designs, and the possibilities are limitless at that point. Let's go on to the next one. Last but not least is typography. Now, I'm not the best typographist. I'm gonna put it out there. I put it out there. I said it. I'm not gonna say it again, but I said it. I'm not the best typographist. Got it. I'm not the best typographist, but check it out. You can make your own fonts in Illustrator. So you can take a regular font like Arial, expand the font, and then start manipulating the fonts. You can change it to be as ugly or as beautiful as you like, but you can manipulate the fonts and make your own typeface in Illustrator. The only program that you can do it in that I know of. I mean, you can manipulate these fonts to do anything you want them to do. If you need a Y to swing, the bottom part to swing around and swing back up around, you can do that in Illustrator. And it'll still be that same Y, but it'll be your specific Y. Hey, that's pretty cool with me. So that's it for the day. That's the topic for the day. Why you should be using Illustrator. Hope you learned something. Check it out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I am V. See y'all next time. Peace.